What's up guys, it's Charles here with Rocket Punch Arm to do a review finally of the DX Soul of Chogokin Combattler V. Or as I just refer to him, Combattler. So you can see the box is super gigantic. It's insane. I can't even fit it here. Even if I scroll down, yeah, it just keeps going and going. So it's going to be a little tough one guys to be able to show you the box. But let's get inside and see what's going on. Alright guys, so this is the front of the box. Again, very huge. This is my hand right here. This is the top, you can't even see my hand, and then the bottom is all the way down here. So it's just a gigantic box. Nice and glossy, in case you're wondering. Good photography. If we spin it around, there's just a Combattler logo on the side with the DX Chogokin. By the way, this box does have a carry handle, which is pretty much useless once you take the tape off the lid, because it's just way too heavy for that little handle, and then the top of the box just bows up. But you can see all the photography back here with all the gimmicks that we're going to get into in just a moment. Now once you undo the little flap at the top, you can actually fold this down and you're greeted with 5 boxes. Alright, and then at the bottom there's a base container. So we're also going to check that out, even though I'm not really into the whole stand thing, but I think we got to show you when it comes to this figure, which is pretty amazing. So we'll start off with number 1 here. Alright, so as you can see, this is the box for number 1. This is Battle Jet. And you know, you have to really have this in hand to really appreciate the amount of packaging that this thing requires for something so teeny. But I love the fact that they do that. I mean, you're paying enough for this thing, you might as well have the great presentation to go with it. And here is the contents. You can see the size of the hands already. This is going to be a big figure. That's just the head on Combattler, and you know that's a tall robot, and then you got more hands at the top. Okay, so inside the box you get 2 of these. I'm just going to show you one of each. This is the super electromagnetic yo-yo, which is cool. It's got the spinning blades right there. You also get variant hands. You actually get 4 different ones. You get the fists, which I'm going to display with. You get weapon holding hand. Okay. And then you got 2 slightly different versions of pretty much the same pose. It's kind of weird. This one's just a little more curled, and this one's a little more straight. Alright. And you get the magnet laser, which goes along with Battle Jet here. I'll show you that in a second. So this is Battle Jet. Again, nice size. I can't wait to see this guy combined. But finish is nice, pretty hefty, I must say, for just being a head. A lot of diecast here, pretty much the whole entire head, and I think the rest is just plastic down here, but there might be more metal under it. It just feels really heavy, but pretty much rest assured that this whole top red piece, where the head is diecast. It does have retractable landing gear. Alright, we're going to actually bring them down this way. Alright, and it does have little rolly wheels, which is cool. They're not just molded on. And the magnet laser, you have to get your nail. There's like little slots in there to be able to get your nail in there. Pop that off. Then you can pop this on. Right, give you that little effect there. Speaking of effects, this has something really cool, guys. Can't wait to show you this. But essentially, this has a little switch right here, which you can just move over and press this, and check this out. You just press right down on this fin. Now what's great is I was actually going to go out and buy batteries, but it came with the batteries. So it's 12 LR41s, just in case you're wondering. I believe it's 12. And then also 2 AAAs it came with. It does come with the AAAs. I'm not going to open those up just yet. But now, speaking of the batteries, the way to take it off is this screw right here. So I had a little tiny screwdriver from some third-party transformer. You unscrew it right there. This you have to unhinge it from the back. You'll see these 2 little things. So kind of like flip it out when you take it out, and then just push it back in. Oh, I hit the button. And then push it down. There's some resistance from the springs and the batteries, and then just tighten it down. It also does come with this. It's got this little shaft here that connects to these blades. This is called the DOS pressure, or dose pressure. Whoops. Hit it right there. And it goes on the ends like so. Is this going to shut up? Okay, there we go. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for box number 1, Battle Jet. Alright, and here we got number 2, which is Battle Crasher. And I'm sure it's pronounced Battle Crasher in Japanese, who knows. But here he is, number 2, and we will flip it around so you can see it. Beautiful. Look at the size of this thing. This thing's going to be freaking huge. Alright, we'll go ahead and open this. And same thing, flip top. So you can see the Battle Crasher inside. Now inside that box you get the atomic burner right here, which just hooks up to his hands, or where his hands should be. You also get the twin lancer here, which can combine together with opposing tabs here. Sorry about that, had to do it off camera because it was a little tough to get in. But once it's in, you'll see it forms this here. And then of course you get the Battle Crasher, which out of the box you do have to pull the wings out a little bit here, like so. And does this have, yeah, right here, got the little spinny wheels. Alright, pretty cool. Nice clear cockpit area, beautiful paint. All this is die cast, this huge centerpiece. The bottom part here is plastic. These red side pieces are also die cast. Kind of don't like the way that's open in the back, but somehow it works. And you can see the standard hands there coming out of the back. Now this also has a gimmick. You do have to fold this part down, and you'll see it's got this little door right here which you have to remove so you can pop in the batteries. So you got to put 3 of them, just lay them down in there, put the little flap back on. Now once you have the cover back on, you'll also notice there's a little switch here which you need to gain access to later on, as apparently this does not have the gimmick in this form, but rather the I guess the combination, or when you have it on the stand. We'll find out as we go along. Alright, and here we are with number 3, Battle Tank. Swing him around, and here he is in all his glory. And we'll go ahead and open this guy up, same as the other ones. I kind of like this packaging, it's really cool. And there he is with all his parts. Alright, so this is what you get inside box number 3. We have the tank cannon, which is nicely done in a nice kind of pinkish rose metallic, and the rest is silver. We have these what they're called in the book anchor knuckles. I was kind of thinking they would make these out of like a chain, like actual chain, but then I'm thinking like that's kind of dumb because they would just fall to the floor, as these are meant to look like a special effect. And then we have the big blast here, which is a nice big missile. Alright, and then of course we have Battle Tank here. Alright, so there's a couple gimmicks on this. Well, first of all, as far as the sound gimmick, the batteries are under this thing here. You'll notice you need a longer screwdriver because the little one I have can't fit under there. So you need a long screwdriver to take that off, and there's 3 batteries in there. Alright, you also have these little antennas which you want to be very careful with, and I'm being very careful because the temperature in this room is very cold and making these brittle possibly. And you have these arms that come out. I always thought this was really cool. You get these little like grabby arms that come out. Always like this from Combattler. Look at that. When they fold, do they? Yes, they do. There you go. That's pretty cool. You got the nice little number 3 right in there. We're also going to attach the cannon here. So the cannon, and you can see the switch right there. The cannon we're going to attach right back here by first removing this little door that I lost somewhere. Damn it. And got to be careful with those antennas, and that is going to bolt up right at the back. It's kind of hard to see right here, but again I had to do that off camera because they warn you how brittle these antennas are. I don't think they're that brittle, but look how close they are to this thing that you have to snap in with force. So you got to be careful at that point. The antennas are held in there by a ball joint, so they do kind of swivel or angle out of the way right there, which is not too bad. So there he is with the tank here, and this should move up and down. It's got little pistons. They're not actual working pistons. It would have been nice to see something there actually working with the pistons. And then you can attach those anchor things here. Don't know exactly how I'm supposed to take this off with. Yep, there you go. More little things you could lose. And then you just attach this. Just pop that on right there. Like that. And boom! Look at that. It's ready for battle. That's why he's called Battle Tank. Now, the tires. I have some Solo Chogokins that have rubber treads. Which one am I thinking of specifically? The Getter ones, where the treads just fell apart. This looks like it's rubber. So, I mean, the rubber looks like it's nice and squishy. I don't know what to call it. I mean, they do roll. I don't know when they're going to make something like a better material, maybe silicone. I don't know, just something that's not going to wear out. I prefer it not to be actual rubber. I don't need rubber tires to be rubber. They can be of any similar material. But it is cool they worked that in there, even though I'm not going to be rolling it around. But I guess I did that for the looks. But I would have preferred maybe not even having that. So only time will tell if these will hold up. Hopefully they will. And that's pretty much it. Number 4, Battle Marine. Go ahead and look at the front here. Now these form the legs. That's why this is probably the biggest vehicle out of the whole set. It's his waist and legs. One thing I wanted to point out, I didn't realize that says Soul of Popinica, or Popinica, whatever you want to call it. It's a line of vehicles that they make in the Chogokin line. It's kind of cool that they referenced that here, since this is a vehicle. It's laid out pretty much like the other ones, just a couple of spare bits there. Alright, these are the contents you get. You get a little clear spacer, which I'm assuming is used in the base. And you get transport arms, which you'll see how I'm going to use those later on in the review. A couple of those. And of course, Battle Marine, which is just laying there without his landing gear. Oops, that's a little gimmick we're not going to look at right now. So let's put the landing gear on. I'm going to open the front. Just requires your nail under there. Very firm. Very firm. And then these bad boys here, which are a little tricky to get out. You got to fold these kneecap looking things up. And then there's a little hook. And I just can't do it. I can't do it. So what I did is I took my little Ninja Turtle tool, which comes in handy to pull stuff out, which I painted black when I was a kid for some reason. And that's it. Just prop it or pop it out and then straight out like that. There's like a little sequence to that, which you want to get right so you don't mess them up. And look at the landing gear posts. Diecast metal. And then what you want to do is pull this out, which is also nice and firm. Now, as far as getting this landing gear done the right way, I give up. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. It's all Japanese to me, man. By the way, this is where the batteries go, in case you're wondering. But let me show you the instructions. And they look easy enough. I just can't do it. I feel like I'm doing it. It says like it shouldn't look like that, and it should look like this, and it shows this here, and it makes it look so freaking easy, but don't know what's going on. I'm thinking it's right because now they won't push in. Just looked a little weird, and it is level, so hopefully that's done the right way. And that's it for Battle Marine. There's not much I can say about this. As far as diecast, you do have this whole ship part here. These little red pieces here. I don't like. Strangely enough, I didn't mean to stutter there, but strangely enough, the bottoms of the legs are not metal, and that's what I thought would obviously be metal. But what you do get in metal is the thighs here, which are pretty bulky. So there's a reason why they made this out of plastic. Maybe it's because of this whole gimmick thing. I have no clue. Kind of would have been nice to see more metal in here. Actually, there is right here. There's metal there. So they did work some metal into the leg, and of course the landing gear there. Put this back. And now we got number 5. We have the Battlecraft. That's a very cool name. And this is the front. Move up. This forms the feet. His little feet. Hopefully the ankles on this are not anywhere near like the GX03. And we'll go ahead and open this bad boy up. Check it out. Alright, same layout. It's got all the little neat gimmicks. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we get with this. We got the base here, that goes over the forearms, I believe. We also have the atomic burner, the bigger version. We also have the ultra electromagnetic crane, and then we have the super ultra magnetic spin, whatever the hell that's called. And then we got the ball cruncher right here, because this would look very painful if it was to get a hold of anything on your body that's very sensitive. So keep this away from your significant others. Other than that, I think it's called a battle garaga. I don't know. I'm not good at Japanese, guys. And then, of course, we have the battlecraft. Alright, we got the nice little chrome drills. They don't spin at all. Alright, but they probably get pushed in. But anyway, clear cockpit areas. You can see the seats right here. Little whatever, but there's no little pilots or anything like that. Nicely painted. Don't be fooled by the size of this. This thing is ultra heavy. I mean, it's just a brick of metal. Even though well, I guess, yeah, the whole top too. Except for the center section is blue. Everything is metal. Metal! But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, for this. Yeah, aside from the rolly wheels, which are not rubber, by the way, guys. Not rubber. Hard plastic, which is fine with me. They still look good. Alright, so we're just going to jump right on over to the whole stand thing here, since there's been a lot of time between the previous section of the review and what I'm filming now. So I have no clue what the hell I spoke about a couple weeks ago. But anyway, here's the stand thing now. You guys know that the stand is not something that I normally use, but I feel with this we do have to at least talk about it. And I will show you the stand, believe it or not. I'm going to show you the whole thing. I'm going to show you how everything goes into the stand. But basically you get this tray here and all the stand parts. It almost looks like an empty tray, but that's because the parts are in black. Alright, you get all the accessories here. You even get batteries. Check that out. Alright. And you even get Ropet down here. So he's actually the one that authorizes the combination of Combattler by yelling out combine. Okay, hopefully he does that in the combination sequence, which we'll check out. And thankfully there's also some batteries here. Are they AAA or AA? I think AA. So to get to the battery, you're going to take the big base here, the one that says DX Combattler. And you have to not take off the little screw, but just unscrew it here. It's a little tricky because it feels like it's not going to come out, but you just stick your nail in, boop, pops out. You put these cheap batteries in. These are just to test it. I'm not going to leave them in there, obviously. We're going to cover this back up and then just screw the little screw back in. Alright guys, can you see that? It's a rather dark background, but I'm hoping you can see the base. You just have to put a bunch of these things together. That's where all the ships are going to dock for the set here. Alright, and this is where Ropet's going to dock. Alright, so when you got that done, you got to put these two guys together. Kind of hard to explain. Then you want to take the tank and you got to put these like clasp things that come around, just to show you what they look like. They have a hook there. You get it right in between here, and it hooks right in. And you kind of get that situated. Then you want to put this little piece here, and just be careful with the antennas. When you place this bigger piece on, you do have to open up these flaps up, place it down, and you kind of have to feed these things on the side here. Kind of a little bit tricky. Again, be careful with the antennas, and feed it in on the other side, and then kind of push down on the doors just so they're flush. Alright, so you got that. Then what you want to do is hold it all together. This kind of feels a little bit flimsy. I'm sorry I'm blocking the light, guys. And situate it on the stand here. It's a little trick. Oop, there it goes. It just falls right into place. Alright, then we want to add the other pieces of the set. We want to carefully place this guy right up here. And we're going to take this big bad boy and kind of put him on here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. And I mean, it holds good, but it's like, you know, it's so expensive that like you want to be careful. And then this really heavy dude, I'm assuming these tabs right here are going to go right in front and behind the tracks. And there we go. Whoa, that's weird. It's split in there. I don't know why it's doing that. Now it's holding on. It's weird. The magnets won't hold if it's in there. Let's just leave it like that. It's supposed to actually go in, but you'll see the magnets are splitting when it does go in. I'm kind of afraid to leave it there like that, but that's how it is, guys. There's a stand. Alright, so hopefully this guy... Oh, it's kind of annoying. If I just lay it on there, it's fine, but it's almost as if... It's weird. Let's just leave it like that. It's not splitting that way, but then again, it's not all the way in on the bottom. Maybe you can see what I'm talking about, or maybe not. Anyway, spending way too much time on that part right there. And then we have Ropet, which does dock in here, but we're going to check that out later because there's a little gimmick to that. I just realized I did not put all the batteries on these guys, so oh Jesus, let me go ahead and do that. Now we're going to check out the sound gimmicks. What you do have to do is activate this little switch here, which is right before or right above the docking for Ropet over here, which, by the way, in case you're wondering, does have some articulation. You get the little arms. You don't get rolly feet or anything, but it's pretty well done. I like the little clear, you know, helmet thing or brain thing, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so I had to go back and put all the batteries in because I had forgotten to do that before putting them all here. But here I am. So anyway, like I said, they got gimmicks, sound gimmicks. Number one, we'll test out the background music. If you don't want to listen to all that stuff, you can forward. Otherwise, listen. Alright, then number 2. Alright, you guys get the idea. Number 3. So anyway, that's background music. Again, we can get Ropet here. Let me get this situated a little bit better for you guys to be able to see, because it's so dark. This guy just rolls right in. You push him back like so. Whoops. Alright, so he says combine OK over and over. And all the ships have their own sounds too. I'm going to see if I can show you guys, well, almost all of them. The tank one, where is it? It's right here. If I press this, it just keeps doing that over and over. You press the button again to stop, and then we're going to go ahead and smash my figures together. We're going to go ahead and play the background music for the combination, which is number 2, according to this, while we transform these guys. Alright, it'll just repeat. I'm not going to do any editing, hopefully. Here we go. Nah. Alright, so not editing is definitely not going as planned, so the music's not going to make sense here and there. Alright, so we're going to shut the music off because at this point I've combined it. I've heard that music for the past half hour doing this video, so shutting it off. So you can hear the dramatic effects here and also see the light up feature on his head, which according to the instructions lasts for a minute. There's no way of shutting it off. The sound effects you can always shut off. For example, we're going to press, actually let me give you a little more light here guys. We're going to press the chest, for example. Effect start, you just press it again and you're done. But the light, once you press it, you're going to have to wait the minute for it to go away. Here's what it looks like in the dark. It's not the brightest thing on earth, might be the batteries, but it's really cool nonetheless. And just pull back here a second and just really take in the beauty of this figure. Very beautiful, very expensive, but I think it's worth probably every little penny. Now we're going to do a scale comparison with the GX03, which is the original Combattler in the Soul of Chogokin line, and see how they look together. Ready for this, guys? Check it out. It looks so teeny, even though the GX03 is one of the bigger, it's not the biggest, but it's one of the bigger sized Soul of Chogokin. But look at the way the DX just towers over him. And I'm using like a perspective on his camera. Let's get a little more level so you really get a feel for really how much taller the DX is. Now the hanger slash base thing right here also has a number 3 background music, and you're supposed to grab Combattler here and stand them on these buttons that are on the ground. And this says Combattler. Now I'm looking at the hanger back here. It looks like there's like hooks that go around like behind the tires. I don't think you can see that, but there's like kind of holds them. Bring back the treads. You can see one of the hooks that go behind the treads, and you also have to be on the lookout constantly for these little antennas. Those little antennas, if you push Combattler too far back without making way for those antennas, they will snap right off, guaranteed. Alright, so here he is, guys. Wow. Now this is, my voice cracked, I'm sorry. This is one of those figures that I might leave on the stand. I mean, I really don't want this thing to fall over. I mean, this pays for most people's rent, just this little thing right here. Or at least half of it, or whatever, or the majority of it. So I don't want this thing falling over. So I might leave it on here, at least for now, so I can enjoy it. Alright, so I think it's about time to move on to some of his weapons. So we want to check out the Super Electromagnetic Yo-Yo, which is this piece right here. You'll see I've attached a little clear piece, which is what you're supposed to use to attach the handle, though you can't have it without it. Just go ahead and pop that back on. Essentially, this is made up of these two pieces here. Oh, that sucks. And this piece here. The reason I suffer a little bit for that, because these are painted pieces and I don't want them, you know, chipping. But yeah, and then you have to also change the hand. Now there was a button thing here somewhere, yep, there we go, which allowed you to lock this in place. If this gets pushed in, there is a little button in the back to allow you to push it in once it's locked in. What we're going to do is add this hand here, and you'll see the hand, it's a little hard to do, guys, there's not a lot of space here, has a little tab thingy which allows you to place this in there like so. So it's like he's gripping it. Look at that. He's gripping it right there. So that's cool. Super Electromagnetic Yo-Yo. While we got him here, he's also got the atomic burners. This is the regular small size, which you can attach right there. Alright, so you guys get the idea how that attaches. He does come with two of them. And they also combine together. Well, they don't, not necessarily combine together, but they have the combined version right here. So I'll go ahead and show you that right now. So you actually have to remove both hands, and you have to bring his shoulders. There's a little movement up here in the shoulders. Oops. Let's be quiet there. And then bring these together like so. You got to be careful with the way you do it. and then use this piece, which actually clips in. You'll see it's angled and it has a little clip feature design thingy. Well, actually these have to be spun this way, sorry about that. And then attach that and that. And then you get the super whatever, or the gigantic version of the atomic burner, and then just peg that in right there. Sorry about all the shadowing, guys. Again, this is a very gigantic piece in the area here, but you can see how that fits right in there, which is a pretty cool little feature. And you can also do pretty much the same thing for this ball cruncher feature here. Chomp, chomp. Same thing. Pop this out right here. These pegs also go right into the holes here. There you are. I also get the twin lancer, which again has a very nice chrome to it. Now to attach it to this hand right here, you got one of these weapon holding hands. You do have to separate it in its two pieces. And I feel like I'm going to stab myself trying to get this apart. Oop, there we go. And you have to actually get the hand in it in this mode here, the separated mode. And because it's very cold in here, it's very hard to get this to flex out of the way. Once you get that in, pop it in like that, and then we can go ahead and pop it into his hand. So there's the twin lancer. Now it does have a feature where you pop off this yellow thing and you get a stage 5 stand, which allows you to, you know, make it protruding this way. But according to what I understand, I have to take them apart to push this little yellow piece from behind. So I don't think I'm going to do that, but I will show you, because it's pretty much, you know, nothing too crazy. But according to this, I think you have to take off the Battle Marine and then push from behind. For what? So I can show you a little hole in his belly? I don't think so. Probably break something. So we're going to skip that. And let's see if there's anything else I'm missing. Oh, I got to show you guys this right here. Actuality, I don't even really have space for that. But let's go ahead and give it a shot. I actually really wasn't kidding about having no space. If we go up, you'll see the top of my display area, which isn't cool. I can't even go up. So what I'm going to do is actually remove the camera and become wobbly here for a second, just so I can show you what that looks like up top. You can see that right there. Cool. Yes, and he does have a final mode, which is what I'm going to show you. I'm in the middle of it. I've folded his arms back. I've removed the little red yo-yo thingies from the side of his hips. I'm just going to show you the final result. It's a little wacky, so stay tuned. Alright, so this is the final mode I'm talking about. It's the Grand Dasher, I believe. Grand Dasher, yeah. So here he is. A little silly, I think. It's almost as if the designers are just like, you know what, let's just, you know, throw in a final thing. I guess when they first designed this guy. But, you know, it's typical with what you see in this era of Japanese robots. But yeah, nothing too terribly exciting. I'm actually suffering watching it like that because it's all laying all that weight on all these delicate little pieces. Well, not so much delicate, but I just don't like the way the feet fold in. It kind of feels like there's a lot of pressure on this blue plastic over that. Maybe I just didn't push the pieces enough, but this is Grand Dasher right here. Well guys, I think that just brings me to the end. For those of you that don't want to watch me or hear me blab about stuff, you can sign off now. Thank you for watching. But I do have to give like my final thoughts. I mean, it's a really, and I'm sorry about the birdie bubbly noises in the background. That's definitely my daughter trying to annoy me. But where was I? Yeah, so final thoughts. This figure, very expensive, third one in the DX line, hopefully not the last. I'll be honest, I kind of wish this was the Soul of Chogokin line. I mean, I'm glad they have the regular line, which is you know, excellent and more affordable, although the prices do soar up, you know, since they first came out. But I guess it makes sense to have a DX line where they really can concentrate on the ones that I guess people want. I'm not sure Combattler is one of those that, you know, everybody... Damn! There's a little dent on my thigh over here. It's really upsetting me. Why is there a dent on the thigh? Anyway, this is something I would only complain about because the figure is so highly expensive. But I probably did that putting it into the Grand Dasher. But anyway, it looks like they're going in order. You know, they had the GX01, which is the Mazinger. You had the GX02, which is Great Mazinger. And you have a GX03, which is Combattler. So it looks like they're going in order. So in that case, Grendizer would be next. And I'm sure the Grendizer will go back to the removable panel things. But then again, it could just be coincidence why they would go with Combattler instead of somebody else. Only leads me to believe that they are going in order of the original Soul of Chogokin line. How far they'll get, it would be awesome if they get the GX71 and just get Voltra, DX out of the way with little pilots inside and everything, but who knows? I don't know what the future of this line is, but I'm definitely glad I was able to get this guy again. If you guys follow my Facebook, I freaked out because I missed the pre-order and somehow one freed up and I grabbed onto it. I mean, what you got here is robot with amazing paint. Great, you know, use of diecast, great details. I mean, it's a DX. What more can you possibly, or what can you possibly not expect? I don't even know what kind of question I'm trying to ask there, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. You know, it's you wouldn't expect less from the DX line. Maybe these guys are still available. If you want one, click the link in the description below. I don't know. I can't guarantee that because they were sold out. But anyway, you can give it a shot. And definitely recommended if you can front the money for it. And if you like the character enough. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Combattler, but I love the design. I don't watch the anime or nothing like that. You guys know I don't need to watch the anime to enjoy robot design. But this guy's definitely cool. And feels great. It's one of the greatest feeling robots in hand because of its size and weight. But yeah, anyway. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.